Hello everyone, Keir Smith here, back with another video. I'm a huge fan of Pink Floyd and I'm a huge fan of their 1979 double album, The Wall. I think it's an incredible body of work, an artistic triumph and a commercial one too. It's an album that speaks to and touches the heart and mind, in spite of the fact that it's so dark and miserable. Of all of those classic albums that have gone on to sell millions and millions of copies, The Wall sticks out like a sore thumb really, because it can't be considered pleasant listening. Not like, say, Michael Jackson's Thriller or the Beatles' Abbey Road, Fleetwood Mac's Rumours or Eagles' Hotel California. And I must admit that it took my young heart and mind some time to come to terms with it. I think I bought it when I was 17 or 18 years old and heard it for the first time then, and I'm 45 now, but I think it's a masterpiece, and I don't say that lightly. It's in my top 20 favourite albums of all time, definitely. So naturally, I've made a few Wall related videos since I started my channel, stating the importance of the album. But for today's video, I thought I'd have a go at ranking the tracks from the album, which is always a tricky game to play. And of course, on The Wall, there's lots of different styles and variation. There's some very short songs, there's some slightly longer, what you may call interlude pieces, onto the more fully fledged rock songs, and one giant grandiose statement, all essential to the narrative but not easy to rank. But I've given it some serious thought and some more thought on top of that, and I'm quite settled with what I've come up with. So 26 tracks in total on The Wall. Here we go, from least favourite to favourite. At number 26, I've chosen the song Stop, which is a short piano-led interlude which finds Pink in isolation, riddled with guilt, just before he puts himself up on trial. Not much of a song really, so it's bottom of the list. At number 25, I've chosen Goodbye Cruel World, which closes the first record of the 2LP set. A slight guitar backs Roger's mournful vocal as he prepares to go into isolation behind the wall. Again, not much to it, just over 30 seconds long, I think. At number 24, I've gone with the song that closes the entire album, Outside the Wall. But musically, it's very slight, and Roger's vocal is front and centre, delivering the all-important final message: the bleeding hearts and the artists make their stand. But I must agree, it's not easy banging your heart against some mad bugger's wall. At number 23, I've gone with Empty Spaces, which is, again, a relatively short piece that I actually really like. Gilmour's wailing guitar is quite stirring, and you get that backwards chatter going on, and Roger's vocal is so dark and sinister. And I really like the final lyric where Roger sings, "How should I complete the wall?" and it drops in and segues into the excellent Young Lust, which we'll see later on. At number 22, I've chosen the song The Show Must Go On, which, of all of the tracks on The Wall, I would say that this one is superfluous. It's quite nice. I like Gilmour's vocal. I like the backing vocals provided by a few of the Beach Boys, no less. And Nick Mason's tumbling drums. Let me go, let me go, let me go. And I'm certain that there's many Pink Floyd fans out there that rather like this one, but yeah, I'll leave it low down on my list at number 22. At number 21, I've gone with Vera, which is a really sweet piece and a piece that I really enjoy. Roger's vocal is particularly moving and the violin playing is really nice. Again, this one is a very short piece, so as much as I like it, it's number 21. And that's followed on the album and on my list here at number 20 by Bring the Boys Back Home, which again is very moving, really powerful stuff. It has that grandiose, almost triumphant orchestration and horns backing it, but the lyric is so very sad. Bring the boys back home, don't leave the children on their own. Oh, be still my beating heart. And at number 19, I've gone with The Happiest Days of Our Lives, which first and foremost is a great title considering the lyrical content where Roger bemoans the schooling system. Some great bass playing here too. And the lyrics roll off Roger's tongue like a bitter rant. And I love that closing lyric. But in the town it was well known when they got home at night, their fat and psychopathic wives would thrash them within inches of their lives. Absolutely brilliant. At number 18, I've gone with Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1. I do rather like Gilmour's slow chugging guitar here and the short licks that he plays. But the music again here is secondary, let's say, to the narrative. Daddy's flown across the ocean, leaving just a memory. And so the wall is building slowly. My number 17 choice will definitely be too low for some, I'm sure, because I've read many a time that this is a highly regarded song from The Wall. And that song is Mother, which I do like, but I don't like it that much. This one has always been a little bit too cold for me. And that's saying something I appreciate when considering the material on this album. But Roger's cold verses are lifted by Gilmour's parts. Well, that is until he sings Mama's Gonna Make All of Your Nightmares Come True. Good guitar solo though, absolutely. At number 16, I've gone with Waiting for the Worms, which I'm guessing some people may have a little lower, but I've always rather liked this. I really like Roger's spoken word piece at the start of the song where he's shouting into the megaphone a fascist rally route. Waiting to cut out the deadwood, waiting to weed out the weaklings. And Gilmour plays that slow, grunting wall motif, if you like. It's spiteful, nasty, grim, but I like it. At number 15, I've gone with the song that opens the album, which asks the question, In the Flesh? And this is loud, bombastic, and a really good opener. Big drums from Nick Mason. Very good. Tell me, is something eluding you, Sunshine? Is this not what you expected to see? I remember hearing this for the first time and thinking, no, it bloody isn't, you horrible man. Bloody scared me. Good riff from Gilmour. You've also got the sound effects of the aeroplane. Sets the album up. And at number 14, I've gone with the same song, minus the question mark, In the Flesh. Musically, it's very similar, of course, but the lyrical content is another thing entirely, as Pink sees fit to single out and abuse his followers. That one looks Jewish, and that one's a coon. Who let all this riffraff into the room? Yep, someone has most definitely taken all of Pink's marbles away. But it's a great part of the narrative and a really engaging listen. At number 13, I've gone with Don't Leave Me Now, which sees Pink trying to make amends, I think, with his wife as he begs, don't leave me now. Remember the flowers I sent. I need you, babe, to put through the shredder in front of my friends, to beat to a pulp on a Saturday night. Yeah, I'm not sure that's quite the way to go about it. You need to word that differently, I think. But I really like the slow, echo-drenched jangle of the piano. And then as Roger sings at the end, why are you running away? That Gilmour guitar really takes off and it's really powerful once again. At number 12, I've gone with The Thin Ice, and this is really good. I love the juxtapose between Gilmour's sweet vocal and Roger's sinister vocal. Gilmour's vocal is really nice when he sings those opening lines. Mama loves a baby and Daddy loves you too. But it's all about the part where Waters takes over in typically miserable style. If you should go skating on the thin ice of modern life, dragging behind you the silent reproach of a million tear-stained eyes, don't be surprised when a crack in the ice appears under your feet. You slip out of your depth and out of your mind with your fear flowing out behind you as you claw the thin ice. Gilmour's searing guitar solo takes off. Really good again. At number 11, I've gone with Another Brick in the Wall, Part 3. This is good. Good tempo. Good drums again from Mason. He really gets the beat and the tempo going well here. And Roger's in good voice too, shouting and kicking out at everything. I don't need no arms around me, and I don't need no drugs to calm me. I have seen the writing on the wall. The synthesizer behind the blast of Gilmour's guitars is really nice too. At number 10 I've gone with Look Mummy, there's an aeroplane up in the sky. The beautiful Goodbye Blue Sky. A beautiful and melodic acoustic guitar played by Gilmour of course, and a really pretty vocal too. Did you see the frightened ones? Yeah, I'm no Gilmour obviously. Coming in at number 9 now, I had real trouble placing this one because I always want to put it higher. I think it is absolutely magnificent. It is The Trial. From the moment you hear that door creaking and then the brilliant orchestration fades in, you're in for the roughest of rides, but it is brilliant. And the schoolmaster and then his wife duly rip poor Pink to shreds. That bit's great where the schoolmaster says, if they'd let me have my way, I could have flayed him into shape. But the best bit for me comes from his wife. You little shit, you're in it. Now I hope they throw away the key. You should have talked to me more often than you did. But no, you had to go your own way. Have you broken any homes up lately? Just 5 minutes, Worm, Your Honour. Me, him, alone. Before his mother comes screaming in, Babe, come to mother baby, let me hold you in my arms. My lord, I never wanted him to get in any trouble. Why'd he ever have to leave me? Worm, Your Honour, let me take him home. But aside from them pieces, I love the breathtaking interludes where Roger sings Crazy, Over the Rainbow, I Am Crazy, Truly Gone Fishing. And that war motif comes back for the final section where the judge gives his verdict. I sentence you to be exposed before your peers. Tear down the wall. How Roger even dreamed up all of that is incredible. Great credit must go to Bob Ezrin as well to help Roger fully realise it. It's so theatrical and terrifying too, thanks to Gerald Scarf's wonderful animation. A truly remarkable piece of music and writing, and I'm sure when I've finished editing this video and look at it with a sense of embarrassment of course, at least you'll be able to see my enthusiasm for this particular piece. Alright, I've cooled down a little now and onto my number 8 choice, the mega hit single, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. Love Nick Mason's disco-esque beat, love the slick guitar stylings of Dave Gilmour. We don't need no education, we don't need no thought control. And what a chorus, I mean really, who doesn't love that chorus? And of course we have the most exquisite bluesy guitar solo by Dave Gilmour, which is absolutely brilliant. An absolute classic with a capital C. One of the greatest number 1 singles of all time, no question. At number 7, I'm going to go with Is There Anybody Out There? There's a real emptiness to this song, which I absolutely love. You hear the question being asked, I think it's 4 times, is there anybody out there? Each time it's asked, it scares you that little bit more. And you hear all of these creepy sound effects in the background. But the guitar part is absolutely gorgeous, backed by, again, some really sweet violin. It goes together so well. And I've got it this high up on my list because, well, it's hard to explain really, other than that I find it emotionally very affecting. Are all these your guitars? At number 6, I'm going to go with One of My Turns. Wanna take a bath? And I said before in another video where I was talking about the wall that the voices that you hear on the wall are equally as important as the voices that you hear on The Dark Side of the Moon. They add so much character to this album, whether it's the phone operator, the girl in One of My Turns, or the sound of the TV. The amount of thought and Roger's artistic vision here it's absolutely brilliant. And One of My Turns opens with that really gloomy organ sound as Roger delivers that desperately cold and bitter vocal. I feel cold as a razor blade, tight as a tourniquet, dry as a funeral drum. God, it's miserable. but I absolutely love it. And then of course the song explodes, not least to Gilmour's superb guitar stylings. But Nick Mason's playing in the background is kind of loose and languid, but really effective. Would you like to learn to fly? Would you? Would you like to see me try? And in particular, this part of the film is perhaps my favourite scene of all, where Pink is slumped in his chair, clearly depressed, and then goes absolutely crazy, flying around the room, throwing his guitar, smashing windows, throwing the telly out of the window, scaring the poor life out of the groupie that he invited up to his room. But the band performance on this song is absolutely fantastic. They clearly capture the feel and the mood that Roger wanted here perfectly. I love this song at first listen. Honestly, I thought, wow, that's explosive. At number 5, I've gone with the awesome Run Like Hell. The booming drums really drive the song on. Absolutely fantastic. And that chord driven riff is so cool with that delayed guitar sound chugging in the background. And the lyrics again are really nasty but absolutely brilliant. You better make your face up in your favourite disguise, with your button down lip and your roller blind eyes, with your empty smile and your hungry heart. Feel the bile rising from your guilty past. Here's the riot scene from the war movie. If they catch you in the back seat trying to pick her locks, they're going to send you back to mother in a cardboard box. You better run. And a word for the great Richard Wright, who plays that superb synth solo at the end. What a great sound. Absolutely love Run Like Hell. 10 out of 10 stuff. At number 4, and again, I'd love to put this higher, but at number 4 it will be, I'm going to go with Young Lust, which is rock at its best for me. Gilmour's crunching guitars are backed more than ably by some really cool drumming and some really good bass playing too, underpinned by some subtle keyboard work too. Again, another really great band performance, and it could well be my favourite vocal on the album. Gilmour's rasp is superb. I love it when he sings, "Where are all the good times? Who's going to show this stranger around?" And of course Roger joins in for the superb chorus, "I need a dirty woman, I need a dirty girl." And Gilmour really lets rip on that guitar solo. This song rocks, it's absolutely brilliant. 10 out of 10 stuff again. Are you keeping up? What's left? At number 3, I've gone with Hey You. This had me from the opening 10 seconds when you hear that beautiful melodic guitar line that Gilmour plays. I think he also plays bass on this too, correct me if I'm wrong. And his vocal, no less, is really good here too. He captures the emptiness and the weight of the song perfectly. Hey you, out there in the cold, getting lonely, getting old, can you feel me? And the grunt of what I call that war motif is present again here, as it underpins his excellent guitar solo once again. Dave Gilmour's my favourite guitarist of all time. I think what he plays it's perfect to me. And Roger's vocal part is really good too. Again, a nice juxtaposed to Gilmour's loveliness. But it was only fantasy. The wall was too high, as you can see. No matter how he tried, he could not break free, and the worms ate into his brain. And it closes with one of my favourite lyrics by Pink Floyd, and one of my favourite lyrics of all time. Hey you, don't tell me there's no hope at all. Together we stand, divided we fall. That closing lyric of Hey You always made me feel like there was a very small chink of light at the end of a very dark tunnel. So for my number 2 choice, let's ignore that chink of light and get back to some thoroughly dark, cold and lonely and utterly miserable music with the utterly fabulous Nobody Home. Isn't that opening piano part absolutely glorious? I think it's played by Bob Ezrin. It sounds classical almost. And at this point in the narrative, Pink's sat alone in his hotel room, looking around and pointing out all of the things he's got. Got a little black book with my poems in, got a bag with the toothbrush and comb in, got elastic bands keeping my shoes on, got those swollen hand blues. I've got 13 channels of shit on my TV to choose from. Even though it feels like Roger's merely casually listing things and ticking things off, I think these words are absolutely brilliant. And again, they capture the mood so well. And when he sings "There's Nobody Home" for the first time, you hear the orchestration around his sad vocal there. It really swells and it's so well timed. It's really uplifting too. And the song goes on and you get to that point where Roger sings, "I've got wild staring eyes and I've got a strong urge to fly." And at that point, it really gets me and I think, yeah, go on, go for it. You can do it. And then he sings, "But I've got nowhere to fly to." And it absolutely breaks me every single time. And again, that lovely piano playing comes back in and rises into the part where Roger desperately wails, "Oh babe, when I pick up the phone, surprise, 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 there's still nobody home." That orchestration comes back in. It's, again, so powerful and really moves me. I mean, it really moves me. It's really hard for me to sit here and try and describe and feel like I'm doing it justice when I talk about Nobody Home, because I absolutely adore this song. And I often think to myself, perhaps it should be number one. Perhaps this is my favourite song. It's so painfully sad and desperate, but there's clearly a part of me that relates to it in a very deep and personal way. Although I couldn't put my finger on it, I couldn't tell you why, but I really feel this song and I adore it. That's the best I can say. Number 2 is the glorious Nobody Home, which brings us to the number 1 spot, and it has to be Comfortably Numb. And it has to be because, quite simply, this is one of the greatest songs ever written. It really is. It's absolutely incredible. Its achievements in the rock genre are mountainous. And without meaning to sound like a complete, pompous, head up his arse music nerd, I really feel this song. When I'm listening to Comfortably Numb, there is nowhere on planet Earth I'd rather be. There's nothing I'd rather be doing than being completely immersed in the music, the lyrics, the whole feel of the song, and of course, that guitar solo. From the moment it starts, there's a real sense of finality about it. It sounds big from the off. The slow pace of the intro and that rise into the verse, it's intense immediately, but in the very best way. And Roger's lyrics are truly among his very best. They're so thoughtful and delicate almost, but maintaining that sense of fraught desperation. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? And then of course you get the uplift into the chorus with Gilmour's beautiful vocal. There is no pain, you are receding. And you've got that beautiful, wistful melody underpinning it. And then of course Gilmour's first solo announces itself, which is sublime. I mean, he couldn't have put his fingers anywhere else on the guitar and made it sound any better. It really is absolutely perfect. So melodic, so uplifting. Then Roger comes back in for the second verse. Just a little pinprick. There'll be no more but you may feel a little sick. The way he pronounces the word sick, it really hits you. But my favourite lyrics in this song are the ones that close the song before that incredible second solo, which I'll get to in a minute. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child has grown, the dream has gone, and I have become comfortably numb. Take it away, Gilmour. I mean, it's just so good. What he plays, the pace at which he plays it, where he puts his fingers, when to and when not to bend the strings, when to make it scream, when to make it wail. It sounds so effortless, and effortlessly brilliant it is. It is truly the most amazing guitar solo. But you know that already. It absolutely takes my breath away, and I'm sure it does for you too. It had to be number one. Comfortably Numb is the best song on the wall. For me, Comfortably Numb achieves that level of greatness that other pop and rock songs simply can't get to. Without doubt, one of the best songs ever written, no question. So there you go, all 26 songs from Pink Floyd's 1979 Magnus Opus, The Wall, ranked from least favourite to favourite. And if you made it this far in the video, then thanks very much for staying with me. I do go on a bit, admittedly. But hey, this is music of the greatest importance. I can't simply skim over this quickly. But a quick recap of my ranking. At number 26, I chose Stop. Number 25 was Goodbye Cruel World. Number 24, Outside the Wall. Number 23, Empty Spaces. 22 was The Show Must Go On. 21 was Vera. Number 20 was Bring the Boys Back Home. Number 19, The Happiest Days of Our Lives. Number 18 was Another Brick in the Wall Part 1. Number 17, Mother. Number 16, Waiting for the Worms. Number 15 was In the Flesh ? Number 14 was In the Flesh. Number 13, Don't Leave Me Now. Number 12, The Thin Ice. Number 11 was Another Brick in the Wall Part 3. Number 10 was Goodbye Blue Sky. At number 9, I had The Trial. At number 8, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. At number 7 was Is There Anybody Out There? At number 6, One of My Turns. Number 5, Run Like Hell. Number 4, Young Lust. Number 3 was Hey You. Number 2 was Nobody Home. And number 1 was perhaps the obvious choice, but has to be Comfortably Numb. So, what did you make of all of that? Please leave any thoughts and comments down below. I'd love to know what your ranking would be, so maybe leave me your top 5 if you don't fancy ranking all 26 songs. I'd be really interested to see what you come up with for this one. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you for my next video sometime soon. Until then, bye for now.